Good morning, race fans. We've got a lot of news. So you are listening to Race Statistics YouTube channel, and this is Crash bringing you live coverage of the Qatar Sprint Shootout. Well, it would be the Sprint Shootout. We've got news to talk about, and it's massive news. So overnight, Pirelli looked at several of the tires that were used on Friday's practice, and basically, it's not good. Basically, the tires are there. They found an anomaly in many tires, and essentially, again, I'm just reading this for the first time right now. The tires that are going over the curbs, particularly the turn 12 and turn 13 curbs, these are the 50, they call them the 50 millimeter pyramid curbs, specifically is what they're used. Essentially throughout the surface. The tires that are going over these curves are basically separating. They're starting to separate. So we'll talk about what there is a delay. It's going to start not timer's not correct still. But let's go over what's going on. Basically, the tires are going over these high curbs, and they're essentially separating. Basically, the outer tire wall and the construction are separating, and over extensive use, this could lead to basically loss of pressure in the tire. Basically, they could pop. So one of the first things they're doing is they've revised turns 12 and 13, and I believe they've narrowed it in to get away from essentially those curves, is what my first understanding. The next thing is because they've revised the track layout, they are going to basically in 10 minutes, so the timer should really say 30 minutes, wait a second. I think it should be 40 minutes from right now. If I'm not right, because we got 10 minutes to go before the start of the session. So when we would normally have in 9 minutes, so it's 7:51 right now. Let me bring up track time. So I am in central USA. Let me convert to track time at this moment. Right now, low cell time is 15:51 at 1600. Where not 16? Yes, 1600. When the sprint shootout would have happened, we're going to get a 10-minute session of practice. I don't know if the timing sheet or the map should. I don't know if we're going to get timing sheet data or we'll get essentially a map data. But basically, we've got a 10-minute practice for drivers to get because they've changed the course. They're giving them 10 minutes to get familiar with the new course layout. And then there'll be a 10-minute, I believe a 10-minute, let's check. Yeah, there'll be a 10-minute delay, and then the sprint shootout will begin. So right now, track time is 15:52. So the sprint shootout will properly begin at 16:20. So 20 minutes past the hour. FP 1.1.5 starting in 8 minutes. IO, we've told you already many times in chat that the list is wrong. We know it's wrong. The data from Oscar getting it didn't get pushed out to who's generating which wasn't pushed out properly because it was so late. Literally, Oscar got the notification that he had the lap notification as he was being interviewed. And if you have not seen that interview, you probably should. Particularly with Lando's interview, because Lando's like, where's Lando? Sorry, George was like, where's Lando? So we understand that the chart is not correct. The FIA is not being inconsistent. I need to step you down, my friend. FIA is not being consistent. Has been being very consistent. They gave track penalties. Track penalties came. They were doing last final laps. They were like the last two people through. There were many track limits infringements yesterday. No, IO. They didn't give it too late. They gave it when they could. Literally, if you were here yesterday, I told you that literally everyone was coming out to do an outlap with like two minutes to go, and then I told her that they're going to cross the line and time is going to expire. They finished the line. I mean, they did as fast as they could to get those track limits. I mean, literally, they were. I mean, the FIA, F1 moves really fast with their post game stuff. Your post event thing they do. Yep. At this point, there's no arguing with you. You've decided already that it's a joke. You've already decided it's a joke. I don't know what to tell you anymore. Maybe you should just move on from this point. Yes, the sheet's wrong. We know. We know. No, we feeder. No. Pirelli found the issue with the tires. We're having this. The track was changed because Pirelli found a defect in the tires because they were going over the curves. So we've got 5 minutes to go before this additional practice session. Pirelli, you're going to take the tires again after each session. They're going to take the tires after the sprint, which is going to last 19 laps, and then there may be more action for Sunday's main event. One of the things that if the problem is still existing, so if what they're doing here with the modification of the track and the problem is still evident, then they will actually say that the tires cannot be used for more than 20 laps. And if that does, all drivers will require at least 3 tire changes, pit stops in the 57-lap race. That is in the document in the article on F1 right now. And that's a huge, if they go to that, that's a huge issue. No, this is not a stay on track, stay off the curb. This is the curbs were too big. This is an argument against curbs actually. The drivers they are staying on track. Don't get me wrong, they have gone off track, but they're also we got some trolls in here. No, this is not like Indy because the issue with Indy is that we had 2 different tire compounds, 2 different manufacturers. No. Yeah, this is. No, it may not be a two-step. No, we're not talking about. No, if the issue with the tires continues through the sprint, what we can be coming back tomorrow is that the race will be required with a 3-tire change. Mandatory. Every 20 laps have to bring in within 20 would have to be the number would rise 22 for a fitted race. So they would not be allowed to race more than 22 laps on any given tire. That would mean they would have to be a 3-tire change throughout the entire race, mandated by the FIA. We've got cars lined up on pit lane already. All right, so we are starting a 10-minute practice session for the drivers to get used to the new track layout, because the turn 12, turn 13 have been changed, have been shortened basically to keep the drivers away from those curves. It's an interaction. So the reason this is, again, exactly what McLaren's asking, thinks is a joke. No, this is not a joke. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. So let's go back over. The issue has been caused by the high frequency interference between the tire sidewall and the curbs used around this circuit, and aggravated by the propensity to ride those curbs. If you didn't like curbs, this was the nightmare scenario. Because they're using the curbs because they're using the curbs because they can go off. Because remember, track limits is that both tires have to go off track limits. So we are now starting. Cars are on track right now. So the issue again, this is a 10-minute practice session for drivers to get used to the new layout of the track, because they basically brought in the track limits to pull them away from the curve, particularly around turn 12, turn 13 is where the limits were changed. So all 4 tires have to go over the white line. The problem is you can go 2 off the white line and you'll be hitting the curbs. Yeah, this is an argument against the curbs that they use, and this track was basically rebuilt. Track was rebuilt from the last time we were here. So it's a brand new course. These are brand new freaking curbs, and they're used throughout the entire course for the most part. So again, right now, I want to thank those who are showing up. Right now, we are in a practice session, an impromptu practice session right now dude, Ryan's going to be back for the sprint. He's going to be back for the race. He's going to be back for the sprint. This would normally be FP3. Ryan's not here. He's not here for these sessions. Seriously. Like, come on, give me a break. This is normally one of the sessions I do. Come on, guys. All right. So, to recap where we are right now, this is, again, the Racing YouTube channel. This is Crash. I am in right now. No, I didn't block IO. He was timed out because he wouldn't move on from the point. And I modded him. So move on, guys. So basically, right now, what's going on is that we are in the middle of a practice session. We're 3 minutes into this 10-minute practice session. And it's result of that there's a track change at turn 12, turn 13, because we're trying to get away from those curbs, particularly those curbs at that location. So this is to give, we just see Hamilton going over curbs. No, this is not a new feature. This is this is basically, we needed to we're delaying the sprint shootout because, no, the main race is not going to get canceled due to safety reasons. What's going on? FIA basically, Pirelli went to FIA and told them there was a safety issue. Why turn 12, 13? Because those are where the curbs, that's where they're hitting the curbs most likely. Yeah, we're curbing the curbs, basically. So they've brought in 12 and 13. They've brought in the track limits there to be further away from the curbs. No, it's not a mandatory stop. No, mandatory 3-stop is basically, it's a math issue. The race is basically 57 laps. And what they're saying is basically so basically what's happening is they're hitting yesterday drivers were hitting the curbs. Problem is, Plutonium, is that it's not 6 cars, it's the whole grid that has the issue. Let's go back to the Indian situation. At that time we had 2 different tire manufacturers. One of them had brought a tire that was appropriate for Indianapolis, and one didn't. 6 drivers had that appropriate tire. Everyone else had the other one. Ooh, which is this Sargeant or is this Albon hitting one of the boards? So the issue right now is that Pirelli found a defect in the tires used yesterday. And it's a major defect. The outer wall and the inner cords starting to separate, and that was happening because of the interaction of basically a lot of math and engineering basically saying as they were hitting the curbs, it was causing a vibration in the tire just enough to cause that defect to happen. Again, we are now 6 minutes into a 10-minute practice. Again, the 10-minute practice. 10 minutes. It's only 10 minutes so that the drivers can get a feel for the new track layout around the turns 12, 12, 13. Jose, do you know which William destroyed that sign? I know Lando yesterday took out one of those signs as well. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have timings for the short practice. Which is again, the delay is not because of red flag. This is not a cheese factor. This is not a cheese. This is not a driver induced issue. Was it Sargeant? Go figure. Florida man. Yeah, I mean, like I was expecting to come in. I woke up this morning, got breakfast, got on, and the next thing I know, what I was expecting to talk about, where Oscar and Lando in Q3 times were deleted at the last moment. We had this now bigger safety issue with tires. So Crash says the word curb. Curb. There you go. Moving on. So basically, we are in about 2 minutes in this practice session. Left in this practice session. Yeah, Sargeant's from Florida. Miami is technically of the three races. Miami is actually his home race. Actually, he grew up. So Miami's on the east side of Florida. He grew up like 20, 30 miles to the west of Miami. So yeah, and that's what they're doing right now. This is what this practice session is. They're giving them a couple laps around to get used to that new layout around 12 and 13. And they're basically then another 10-minute delay, and then we will start. So in 11 minutes, we'll be starting shootout. When is the sprint? Sprint is going to be at, I believe, 12:30 my time. Let me go back to track time. The track time. So right now I am in Los El Time is 16:09. It's 8:09 a.m. in Central, is where I'm at. If you go to the F1 website, there's a wonderful widget on their website that will do the track time conversions. Sprint shootout has been delayed to 16:20 track time. That is 11 minutes from now. The sprint shootout will be 20:30, so about 4 hours and 10 minutes after the start of the sprint shootout, essentially. So I got about 3 hours, 3.5 hours after the sprint shootout predicted. For me, sprint shootout is going to start at 8:20 a.m., 10 minutes from now, and the sprint will be at 12:30. So this is a sprint weekend. So what we're doing is yesterday's, what would have been FP2 on a normal weekend, yesterday was quali for Sunday's race. So you see, Max, this is the timing we had up until just before. The only thing we have on this that's not on this chart that hasn't been reflected is that Oscar's time that put him in P3 was deleted. He's actually in P6. So Hamilton moves up to P3, Alonso to P4, Leclerc to P5. So basically, the timing chart was not basically because it was an impromptu session. That's why we didn't get a timing chart. Max was top of the board. I believe F1 just said Max was top of the board. Clark was second, and then I think was it it was Ocon. It was either Oscar or Piastri was third in this impromptu practice session. So at this point right now, cars are coming around and they're coming into the pits. And if they're not in the pits already, we are about 8 minutes to go with a reset right now before we start the shootout. Okay, so they're saying Joe. So Buxton is saying Joe was third, and then Ocon. Yeah, this is crazy time, everyone. So they're gonna again. The big thing is that they're gonna the tires that tires that are going to be used during the sprint. So because of the sprint's only 19 laps, There's no expectation for there's no expectation for a tire change, and you shouldn't. Anyone who's actually going to be competitive is not going to have a tire change. So they're going to be used for 19 laps. Pirelli's going to take the tires and they're going to examine them tonight. If the conditions that presented the safety issue that brought out the track change and the track change and the additional practice session that we had, if that continues, then the issue becomes they could mandate the tires be used only for 22 laps. We have a 55-7 lap race. So that means there is a minimum of 2 to 3 tire changes. Again, they're saying a 3 tire change requirement for that race. Again, we got 5 minutes to go before we get to on-track action. Actual on-track action. So those who are arriving right now, who arrived in the last minute, what has happened is that overnight Pirelli found a so basically there was Pirelli overnight found a defect in the tire that prompted a track change because the issue is an interaction between the tire and the curbs. They have changed curves, so turns 12 and 13. They've tightened it in so that basically cars can get away around those particular curves. Those are the most extreme points on the track with the curves. Yeah, the track is even tighter now. They just had a 10-minute practice session to reflect the new track limits. Like basically, they've made changes to the track overnight. If those issues if those issues persist through the sprint race today, we could have a scenario tomorrow where the track degradation, tire degradation is not going to matter as much because they're going to mandate tire changes every 22 laps at the most. Within every top, they'll say every tire has a maximum usage of 22 laps. And what they found is the tires, yes, and this is what time does the sprint start? It is 4 minutes and 18 seconds. Again, I want to thank the 4,000 who have showed up. We've got over 446 likes so far. Add one with that because I have not forgotten to like. So we're now under 5 minutes to go to. They're doing F1 is doing a new round of the introduction showing again. FIA is going. Yes, FIA will dictate when pit stops have to be done for safety reasons. Yes, goodbye to safety to strategy. Yes, absolutely, Tim. But that's a safety condition going on here. And that's basically this is because again, the FIA is reacting to information that they are getting from Pirelli. And Pirelli says that there was the tires yesterday, particularly the tires that were used over 20 laps or more, had an issue where the tire could be splitting, and could split if again let's put this perspective if Albon tries to be the tire whisperer again, this is the time where that's the time where the tire would have blown up on him. The problem, Dennis, it sounds like Indianapolis, but the problem is that where there's only 6, in that case, there was 2, again, the problem is there were 2 different tire manufacturers, and most of the teams went 1. We're only dealing with Pirelli. They're the sole provider for every single team. We are about 2 minutes to go before on-track action actually begins, before we get sprint shootout. So the things that we have to understand with the shootout, the times are much reduced. So normally in qualifying, we have 18 minutes. In the Friday shootout, it's only 12 minutes. Q2, which is 15 minutes, it's only 10 minutes in the Saturday shootout. And then Friday qualifying, which is normally 12. So the normally qualifying Q3, 12 minutes, will only be 8 minutes. So there'll be significant reduction in time. This, particularly with Q3, it's a one and done, like less, like that you go out with one tire, and you may have it. You might have a chance to pit. It's not very likely though. Again, I want to point out, people are saying Kasky P3. That was so what happened yesterday is that the lap deletion notification didn't get pushed out on time. Or we basically at some point, whoever was managing the charts stopped basically getting updates, and that update for Oscar didn't come. So he's actually 6. Right now, looking, we're about a minute to go before they get on track. The mandatory stops is not a given right now. They are seeing if the track changes. Yeah, so Oscar's is actually 6. So Hamilton is the 3rd, Alonso's 4th, and Leclerc is 5th. That update never got to the chart because it came so late. LMS is basically saying that we won't see a necessarily repeat of yesterday, and part of it is some of the drivers are going to not go off track, McLaren. But also in play here as well, there's the amount of time in quali is reduced, and we are now starting. I think that is, who is that? It's Charles Leclerc out on track for qualification. This is like, even for me irking the F1 gods, that the track issues and the tires, that's more than usually the chaos that I bring to the table. But hey, I'm streaming chaos, right? So here comes the Mercedes. Hamilton, and I think Russell's next. No, yeah, Hamilton first, and I think Russell's next. So we're getting drivers out on, we're going to watch live without commentary. I mean, you could turn off the audio on ESPN or Sky or F1. No. Oh my God. All right. I'm from New England. We're talking about NFL, which is the American football. My beloved Patriots took a 35-point loss. It's the first 35-point loss ever for the head coach Bill Belichick in his career. He is a Hall of Fame caliber career, and this is like, oh yeah, it was bad. We're gonna move on from this because it was really bad last Sunday. We're about 9 minutes and 9 seconds left in Shootout 1. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I don't know why the data is not working. The format for the shootout is there is one there's a Q1 there's a Q1 Q2 Q3, but ultimately the times for those sessions are greatly reduced, about like 60%, 2/3 less. So we have only 12 minutes left in shootout 1, 10 minutes and only in shootout round 2, and 8 minutes in shootout round 3. Um, Technology Lab, how did you get membership? Someone bought. There were a lot of people who had bought some gift memberships, so you got one of those gifts. If it was from yesterday, might have been RS who bought you the. Yep, there you go. It was gifted from RS yesterday. Right now, we have a shootout. It is under 8 minutes left to go. The only two who have set times is Leclerc and Sainz, 126.9 and Sainz 129.04. Stroll, P3 now, 127. Perez setting 126.5. Norris going P1 now, 125.4. So it's Norris, Perez, Leclerc, Stroll, Sainz are the only ones who set times. Oscar now jumping into P3, 126. So Norris, Perez, Piastri, Leclerc, Stroll, Sainz. We have Verstappen, Tsunoda, Lawson, and outlaps. Verstappen's now starting flying lap. Hulkenberg, Russell, Sargeant, Hamilton, and Ocon, Gasly should be on their flying. So Russell just finished his lap, 126.359. So how does the shootout work? It is very much like quali again, but the time is reduced. So again, we've only had 12 minutes in this session, where you normally have 18 in a normal Q1. Did the stream freeze? No, the map is not working. The timing sheet's not working. I don't know why. I know it's being worked on. I know there is a whole slew of things going on at the moment because there was an additional practice session. It's shootout. It's because it's an American term. To be quite honest, we use the term shootout. Like the IndyCar, they have like the shootout is like the Fast 12, Fast 6. It's a term that comes from America. Quite honest. Yeah. Again, why map doesn't work? We understand it's not working. I don't know. Again, 6 is behind the scene. Verstappen is going 125.510. So he's gone P1. So he's about 8.5 tenths faster than Russell. So Max has put his flag out where P1 is. We have dashes. We have dashes, but we also have sprints as well. We have more. We've got more types of races than F1 has at the moment. There's again, when you look, we're talking like again, Sargeant's time was deleted. Track limit is 13. Why is he going off on 13? So here right now we've got times in. Verstappen is first, Russell second, Norris third, Perez fourth, Hamilton fifth, Piastri fifth, Ocon seventh, Tsunoda eighth, Leclerc ninth, Lawson 10th. It's just been pushed down because Sainz just flat up to fourth. Lasson's 11, Stroll is 12. Hulkenberg, Gasly, Sargeant have not set times. Alonso, Albon, Bottas, Zhou, and Magnussen have not set times as well. So I don't think they're even out on track. I don't see a tire for them at the moment. So Sargent's time has been deleted. He's now dropped to 15th. Albon has now set a time. So Albon did a 126. So Sargeant now dropped to 16th in the drop zone. He's the only driver right now with a time in that zone. Alonso, Bottas, Zhou, Magnussen have not set times. No, Charizard on track, the map is not showing it. Hulkenberg has jumped to P5. Bottas jumped to P5, so Hulkenberg's now P6. They did a 126. Zhou jumps to 14th. So Perez and Verstappen. Leclerc's last lap was deleted at turn 5. Again, turn 5 is where a lot of them have been going off as well. So right now, Alonso's the only one who's not set a time. He's now P20. So Magnussen is the driver at risk. Lawson, Stroll, Gasly, Sargeant, and Alonso are the ones in the elimination zone right now. Alonso just jumped to P6, so Gasly just jumps to 12. So basically, right now, Leclerc is the driver at risk. Magnussen, Lawson, Stroll, Sargeant, Zhou, in that order, are in the elimination zone. Zhou has not set a time. There we go. We got the track. There we go. We got track map and the track timing going at the same time. Again, Perez and Verstappen are in the pits. They're likely done. No, they're out there probably. Yeah, they're done for this shootout 1. What is this? This is the sprint shootout. This is the qualification for the sprint race later this afternoon. Again, this is the Race Excuse YouTube channel. There is 2 minutes and 20 minutes left in Q1. Looks like Perez is going out on that lap. So Perez is going out to do another lap, and he will replay of, I think, Gasly going off track. Oh yeah, he goes way off track. He's going off on the area where and Nico Hulkenberg goes off as well. Norris is on starting a flying lap right now. Trying to see who else is starting a flying lap. One of the things that's going on is that when they're going over those particular curves, those 12, 13 turn curves, there's a vibration in the tire. We saw this yesterday, and I didn't make much of it, but we're seeing it again today. We're seeing a vibration in the tire itself, and that vibration is what's basically tearing the inside of the tire. And that's why they've made track changes. They're looking at the tires directly. What's happened to Verstappen? Nothing. He's gone P1, and he's basically he's done for this session. He will be back. I mean, he's going to go through to the Q2 shootout. Right now, they're following along with Zhou and Magnussen. So we've got 20 seconds left to go. So Leclerc is the driver at risk. Stroll, Magnussen, Lawson, Zhou. So Zhou just jumped out of the elimination zone. Zhou is done. He's at P11. So Tsunoda is the driver at risk. Leclerc, Stroll, Magnussen. Magnussen is going to only go up to 17. And he is not going. So Magnussen is not getting out of this session. Russell's jumped P1, but that's not a big deal. We have a yellow flag in Sector 1. Someone's went off the track and come back on. We'll have to figure out who that was in a moment. Gasly's jumping to 4th. Sargent's going to jump to 14th. He could potentially get out of Q1. Perez jumping to 8th. Lawson just jumped to 9th. That pushes Sargent to 15th. I believe that's going to push Albon out. Clerk just jumped to 10th. So that pushes Sargent out. Let's see who else. Sonoda coming to the line. Where is he going to play? Sonoda's going to go to 15th. He's going to push Zhou out. Stroll coming to the line. Stroll's only going to go to 16th. He's going to be pushed down. Albon's going to go to 17th. And I believe this is where we're going to stand. Magnussen is out already. Zhou is out. So Zhou, Albon, Stroll, Magnussen, Sargent are the 5 are going to be eliminated in this first round of this shootout. Ooh, Lance had... So the yellow flag was for Lance. He lost it. Basically lost the back end and went wide to recover. Albon went wide to recover as well. Yeah, but Verstappen put in a P1 and he's not. Russell came out and beat him because Max didn't go out again. So again, Stroll, Albon, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Sargent are the 5 who are going to be eliminated going into the next round of shootout. Tsunoda, again, he's already at only 18th. Basically, he is going to have a track time at turn 13. So we're now waiting for the shootout qualification Q2, SQ2, basically. I don't know if this is the same track limit issue, but at turn 13, Tsunoda went out. I'm getting that message again. I think it's the same message previously. So Lawson gets into Q2, SQ2, I should say. Whereas Max, he's waiting to go out for setting up for SQ2, basically. Another story from yesterday. People are mentioning Stroll in a row. There was a incident with Stroll yesterday with one of his team members, a pushing incident that was it was caught sort of on camera, sort of off camera, and then during the interviews after the fact, he was very short and quick to the point. Behind a Ricky on loan. No, Mohammed. I want to be clear. Lawson is the reserve driver. He's not the rookie on loan. He's on a reserve driver, and he is in replacement for basically Ricardo. What we're looking at is Ricardo will be back in 2 weeks when we come back to the Austin Grand Prix. I'm not sure Sargent actually set a time. We are already done the first round of the sprint shootout, Chime. We're now waiting for SQ2, and we're waiting for a race control message of when that will start. I want to thank Royce for joining the membership. So those of you, again, those you can subscribe to the channel. That's free. There is a membership to the channel as well, and that gives you green. Your name shows up in green. I should shout out like Jose Martinez, Ilwax. Who else is here? Quest Tech, Camillin, Google. I thought I saw Ching Cho earlier. Technology Labo, another someone who got a gift membership. RS, Wee I'm pronouncing your name badly. Yentl. These are all members of the channel. I'm a member of the channel as well. One of the benefits of being a member of the channel, you get Bryce just put out all the emojis that. Thank you, Bryce. It's about to do that. So yeah, you get access to those emojis to use on our channel. If you're interested, if you like those emojis, you like what you see, we do have a store. We have a box emoji. I actually have that on a mug. That was a Christmas present for me last year. We have cars lining up right now. Again, Stroll, Albon, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Sargeant are the 5 drivers who are out from SQ1. Yeah, there's bags, there's shirts, a whole slew. There's stickers as well. Like if you're still a Vettel fan, we have a thank you Vettel sticker that we're still selling from when Vettel retired last year. SQ2 is now just starting. We've got so SQ starts with 10 minutes. We've already used 30 seconds of that time. Yeah, I think Sargent's only proper lap was deleted. Right now, we're in the sprint qualification. It will be several hours. So again, about 4 hours about now when the sprint race will start. Well, like 3.5 hours, 3 hours from now, we'll probably be live with music as we usually are. Again, this is the Racing Statistics YouTube channel. We have just started SQ2, the Shootout 2. We've got less than 9 minutes left in this session. This session of qualification, I should say. And again, this is Grash talking to you live with doing commentary and doing live timing with you guys. So Gasly, Alonso, Ocon, Lawson, Bottas, Joe still in the pits at the moment. They should be out at any moment now. We're hitting about 8 minutes left in the session now. We have no times. I know we've got some times, but they're not actual flying laps at the moment. I think Russell might be the first one who's doing a flying lap. Russell, Hamilton are the only 2 right now who are doing a flying lap at the moment. Perez on a flying lap. Griffiths just realized Lawson has smashed Tsunoda today. Tsunoda got time to lead. Yeah, that's a big deal. We've got some shuffling on the board, but not much. Again, Gasly, Alonso, Ocon, Bottas, and Joe are not out. Oh, sorry, they're wait. Yeah, they're not out on track. What is going on? 5 of the 5 drivers have not come out of the pits just yet. Hamilton is set, so we've got Perez going first, Hamilton going second, Russell going third, but they're like 125, 126. Sainz just did, now he's P3, 128. Okay, so the board just updated. So Perez, Leclerc, Russell, Sainz. So now we're actually getting actual times. Zhou is coming out now. And the Alpines are coming out. So the only ones left is Bottas and Alonso, and I'm not sure why they're not coming out just yet. Hamilton's time was deleted. Where does he jump back to? Drops to below no time. So Oscar's taking P1 right now. Then Max is coming across the line. He's going to take P1. So Max is at 124.9. Expect Max to go back in the pits and be done. Norris is going faster. 124.947. We'll see. We'll see if Max pits for another set of tires or something. I mean, he might be coming to the pits and be done. Let's see. Russell's reporting the wind is picked up, and this is one of the things that's going on with this track is that the wind has been unpredictable and it's changed direction a couple times. Yesterday, it changed direction a couple times. So what that means is that the setups that they have can be wrong because the wind's blowing in the wrong direction for them. Watching right along with Hamilton. So right now with Leclerc's at turn 5 track limits infringement. So the 126.1 track got deleted. We've got 4 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in this session. So Gasly, Ocon, Leclerc, Zhou, Alonso, and Bottas have set no time. Bottas has not come out of the pits. That is if he's not going to come out now, he's not going to set a time. So he will end up being eliminated. Zhou, Leclerc, and Hamilton had times deleted. Hamilton has a 28-second, and Leclerc has a 28-second lap, but those are garbage, slow out laps. They are not going to stand. Ocon, Gasly, and Alonso are on flying laps right now. Hamilton has done a new lap. Time board says he's gone a 125. I don't see any. Alonso slotting in P7. Russell's now slotting at P3, 125.666. Norris is. No, both Norris and Verstappen are in the pit. So is Perez. I doubt that Perez is going to come out again. Right now, Lawson, we've got 3 minutes left to go. Lawson's the driver at risk. So Alonso just moved up to 7th. So Gasly's driver at risk. In the elimination, it was Lawson, Sainz, Leclerc, Zhou, and Bottas. Bottas is now doing an outlap. And Zhou has had another track deleted, turn 5. Zhou has not set a time in this 2-2. Leclerc has now set a lap. He's gone to P3, 125. 125.538 is the lap time. Oscar just went it just beat him by a tenth or so. So Oscar's P3. Perez is going to do an outlap. He's going to do one last flying lap. I'm trying to see. Hulkenberg is the next one coming out of the pits. So Perez is out to do another lap to make sure that he is ensured to get into Q3. Ryan, again, those of you who are expecting Ryan to be here, he's not here because this is normally the FP3 session. He does the last 2 sessions. The quali normally would be quali and the race itself on the weekend. He does. this would normally be an FP3. So I am here doing Science's time. His 126.048 lap was deleted. So he drops to 13th. He drops back into the elimination zone. He may be eliminated if they don't get... If he doesn't go back out again now. We'll see where that goes. I would basically Norris, Verstappen, Piastri, Leclerc, Russell, probably safe. Might put Ocon in that. It's probably safe. But he should do another lap just to be on the safe side. Russell's doing a flying lap. Bottas has moved up to P11, 126.236. That is not going to get him. He's on P11. He is, actually, that is not going to get him into the next. Bottas is going to get eliminated. We've got 35 seconds left to go. So Zhou coming across the line right now. Zhou and Ocon. Hamilton does Hamilton goes 9th. No, he's currently 9th. My apologies. He's going to jump up to 7th. He's now been pushed down because I believe Alonso has just moved up to. Zhou has just gone over the line at 12. So Bottas and Zhou are going to be eliminated. Hulkenberg is at risk. So Gasly, Lawson, Sainz are the 3 drivers we are keeping an eye on. Russell's jumped up to P2. Gasly's moved up to P8. So Hulkenberg, Sainz, and Lawson are the 3 drivers right now. Perez at risk. Alonso jumped up to P4. Hamilton is risk. Lawson's going to move up to P11. He's going to be eliminated. Who's left? I believe it's Hulkenberg and Sainz. So Sainz is the last driver to keep an eye on. So Sainz jumping up to P5, pushing Hamilton down 11. He also had a track time deleted as well. So Hamilton, Lawson, Hulkenberg, Bottas, Zhou are the ones right now at risk. We know Perez jumping up to P3. I think that is it for this session. Oh, no, Hulkenberg is still on track. Fastest sector 2. He jumps up to P9. He pushes down Ocon, and Gasly goes into the elimination zone. So Gasly, Hamilton, Lawson, Bottas, and Zhou are our eliminations. Hamilton's knocked out again. Hamilton's last lap was deleted. Wow, Hamilton was not getting out of SQ2 here. It's someone's commenting about, so Perez is indeed not suited with the car, or maybe lost out. It's more he's not really suited to the car because Red Bull has gone in the direction of Max's driving style over Perez's driving style per se. Lawson's last lap was deleted as well. He was already in the elimination zone, so that doesn't change much. He was already to be eliminated. So Gasly, Hamilton, Bottas, Lawson, Zhou are the ones being eliminated in this session. So we have got Norris, Russell, Perez, Verstappen, Alonso, Leclerc, Sainz, Piastri, Hulkenberg, and Ocon to move on to the final SQ3. So we've got a few minutes, and what part of the reason why, basically Hamilton went over the line, over the curbs, and we're seeing these drivers hitting these curbs, and they're getting a huge amount of vibration off of those curbs. What's wrong with track limits? Basically, what happened, Heidi, if those don't know, we're resetting. We had an impromptu practice session for 10 minutes because they changed the layout of the course overnight. Turns 12, turns 13 were shortened tightened up to bring the drivers away from those curves. And the reason that happened is because Pirelli overnight found that in multiple tires, like 20 or more so different tires, where basically the tires had begun to separate because of the vibrations of going over those curves. Frankie, what we know is that tires that were used less than 20 laps did not show the separation issue. Tires that you were used for 20 more laps yesterday all showed that issue with the tire. So it's a tire. It is literally a tire construction. It's an issue of tire construction mixed with vibration off the curbs. Sargeant asking if Logan is confirmed for 2024. He is not confirmed. It's vibration. It's not all about vibration. You're true, but it is about the load. Load was also an issue with again these, and we've already had an issue with like Pirelli. Let's be honest. Pirelli basically these are the tires that were the construction that we're using is it's intended for next year already. So we've already had a change in the tires to be ahead of issues. Like again, this issue with the tires we're having right now could be significantly more worse if we're using the original tires from the beginning of the season. So again, from Silverstone on, we're using newer tires with a newer construction method. Incident with SQQ involving Russell and Gasly noted failing to follow rate directions regaining maximum delta time. So they didn't go fast enough somewhere on track. Yeah, this is one of the things about hello, he's another member of the channel. So one of the things that changed this year over last year is that the sprint race was isolated into its own event. Last year we had a Friday qualification, and then we had an FP2, and then the sprint shootout we're doing right now was just qualification. That set the order of the sprint. The order of the sprint then set the grid for Sunday's race. They have now broken that up. And they've moved quality to an all-day event here for Saturday. Just looking through. We're about a minute or so away from the SQ3. While Lou was out, his last lap was deleted, and it dropped him. He was about to be deleted anyways, but his last lap was deleted and dropped him back down into the elimination zone. So 8 minutes. So we've already used 15 seconds out of 8 minutes in the shootout 3. No, I actually disagree with you with this saying. I actually like this format better. I like only one practice session. It pushes a lot on the teams. We have a qualification for the race itself, and ultimately the qualification. Basically, the sprint is separated from the race, and I like that. Max falling back. No, Max is going up basically in Q1, Q2 in the sprint shootout. Max went out, did one lap, and that's all he's going to do. He's probably going to go out, do a lap, come in, put a new set of tires, and then do another lap. Yo. So we got Max and Checo out. Ferrari's probably doing that strategy. I would expect. Yeah, the out lap is all purple. That's not him starting a new lap. That is going to be it. He's all purple and starting a new lap. So 6 minutes 30 seconds left in Q3. Crystal, we're about to finish the sprint format. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're complaining about. No, the sprint. You guys are complaining about sprint format. I don't know. Like honestly, the sprint format is a good use. It's good. It breaks up the calendar. All right. It adds variety. It adds spice to a race weekend, and it adds another point earning opportunity on the weekend. Like you guys are complaining about the sprint race. I'm like literally like, hey, like you don't want more racing action? By the way, Max has done a 124, so he's done. And where they were all using medium tires previously, they're now on soft tires for this last session. Five minutes to go in the session. Again, I'm watching you guys complain about, but you're here now and you're watching along with us. So, what gives, guys? Science has just gone to a 126. It's a second to put a time on the board. Perez is doing his flying lap now. Max time is not. Oh, Max is. Where's Max? Max's time has been removed from the board. Why is that? There's been no notification that his time has been deleted, though. Perez is on the board with 125. There we go. Verstappen. Yes, now it's been notified. Track limits at turn 5. So Max lap has been deleted. Perez goes P1 with 125, 382. So here we go. We're following on with Max. Where did he go off track? Oh, yeah. Okay, there was a bit of a lockup. So his time was deleted. What happened to Lewis? Lewis got knocked out in the SQ2. So Max has garbage time. He's got like a 159. That's a garbage lap. Leclerc has now gone P1 with a 125.131. So this is a big deal that Max did not get his first lap, did not take. We've got 3 minutes to go. He's got to go around. You'll get enough time to get around and then do another flying lap. Less than 3 minutes to go in this session. Leclerc again, then setting it on the 125. There we go. All right, here we go. So we've got Norris, Piastri. So Norris and Oscar P1, P2, Perez P3, Sainz P4. Verstappen has a time, but it's 35 seconds off. Clerk has no time. Russell, Alonso, Hulkenberg are doing outlaps now. So they're waiting for the track to evolve. Leclerc's last lap. So he's got to get around pretty quickly and then do a flying lap. 2 minutes to go. Correct. This doesn't count for a qualifying pole. Yesterday's qualification was counted for qualification pole, and that's one of the things they separated because they had a single qualification session and that qualified for the pole. But you could go into the race. That would go into the sprint, and then the sprint could get a different order starting the race. Minute 23 seconds left to go in the session. Looking at Alonso on a flying lap. Arcana. Let's see. No changes so far. Clerk's setting has gone around, so he's now starting. This would be now the start of his flying lap. Alonso about to finish his lap. Perez moves to stays at P3. Verstappen has taken sector 1 on his flying lap, though has he boarded his lap? No, he hasn't improved as much in sector 2 though. Ocon's going to jump to P5. Russell's jumped to P3. We've got 15 seconds left to go. Perez's last lap was deleted. Track limits of 4. That's not gonna. He's gonna jump down to. He's gonna stay at 4th, so he's gonna lose time. Russell's gonna move up to 3rd because of that. Verstappen's gonna finish. He's going to be P3. So Max is not going to be on pole. Max is not. He is done. So basically, what we're going to get now are times that are done. Hulkenberg's going to move to P5. Perez pretty much is done. Pretty much we've got Leclerc, Oscar, and Sainz. Alonso's on a flying lap. So Piastri's going to go P1. Norris is going to come around. He's second to finish. No, it's going to be Sainz. Sainz is going to go to P5. Then it's going to be Norris. Norris is fast sector 1, improved sector 2. He is not going to improve his time. He's going to just behind his teammate. Wow, by 0.082 looks like. So it's a lockout of the sprint for front row for McLaren. And that is how things are going to lay down. Verstappen's going to start on the second row. Russell's 4th, Alonso's 5th, Sainz 6th, Leclerc 7th, Hulkenberg 8th, Perez 9th, and Ocon 10. So for the sprint, our pole sitter is going to be Oscar. Max is starting 3rd. This is not the end of the world. So let's talk about Max. Max could win the World Championship this afternoon today. This later in the sprint, he needs to finish 6th or better to win the World Championship. Where he sits right now, if he does not overtake either of the McLarens, he will be world champion. And a lot of you are going to be like, "Hey, it's going to be interesting. That's an odd way to win the World Championship." Well, it was an odd way to win last year in Japan, where we had no clue how people earned points. And then Abu Dhabi for his World Championship. I'm waiting right now because yesterday I got burnt on because I left. And literally after I left, both Norris and Oscar got lap times deleted. So I'm right now here with you just to make sure that nothing happens before I actually leave. I don't know why you want the McLaren boys to DNF. I don't know why. Here we go. Instant volume Norris failing to follow race direction instructions, maximum time. So we know that he's the 3rd driver to be Gonna go forward to the stewards. See what it's under investigation because he was going too slow. I don't think that's going to adjust anything. I don't know if Mac's actually going to win the sprint. That's a good question. With if it stays as it is right now, with both McLarens ahead of him in the sprint, Oscar could win this if they use Norris to block Max. We will see how that goes. Oh, there's someone's correcting me. He needs 3 more points than Perez. As it stands right now, Perez is slated to get 1 point and Max 5 points. Okay, here we go. Race control. Alonso is going to drop to P9 for track limits. So they're doing an interview with Oscar now. The interviewer is happy to do this again, and he's happy for him. For those who don't know, during the interview yesterday, during the quality interviews, she didn't know what was going on, and she started interviewing him, and then she gets the information his track limit was deleted. And so his interview ends with, "We're hearing about something with track limits. What do you know about this, Oscar?" And Oscar's like, "I don't know." I want to thank for those who showed up and are still here right now. We're about like less than 10 likes before we hit 1,000 likes. If we can get a couple of you to hit that thumb up, we would be happy to do so. Again, this is the Race Ticket YouTube channel, and this has been Crash. I am done for the weekend for the channel. Ryan is going to take over from here on. He's going to be doing the race and the sprint. And again, we should be back in about 3 hours. Maybe 2.5. We'll have. We tend to play our mix of music before the session. He's been going on about an hour before the session, so we'll be back live, and then Ryan will about 15 minutes before the sprint. Did the sprint? No, sprint hasn't started yet. We did the sprint shootout. Oscar chokes 5 minutes before doing the poll. Yeah, because basically during his interview, he's joking because during his interview yesterday, his lap time was deleted, dropped him from P3 to P6. When is the sprint? The sprint's going to be in about 3 hours and 15 minutes approximately. So right now, for me, it is 9:11. It'll be 12:30 for the sprint. Right now on Lusail, it is 17:12. 17 hours, 12 minutes. And the sprint will start at 20:30 local time. The race tomorrow will start at 20 hours. So that is about 8 p.m. local time. So the sun is going down, the lights are going up between now and the beginning of the sprint, and then tomorrow will be a night race. Again, the thing to watch out for after the sprint race to look overnight and tomorrow morning is did the changes to the track help the safety issue with the tire? We will get another report. Right now in Losail, it is 17:12. So 5 p.m., 5:13 p.m. local Losail. So one of the things for you is, and I'm trying to prep you guys so that you know, Pirelli is going to look at all of the tires from the sprint race. Sprint race is 19 laps. If they continue seeing the degradation, the safety issue with the tire tomorrow from the race, we could get a safety regulation applied to tomorrow's race where they have to pit 3 times. And that is going to make things interesting. If that's that throws a lot of the strategy out of the window. New strategies emerge from that. So, all right, I'm going to take off right now. We will have about a couple minutes left of music, and then you'll be taken. If you if you just want to leave your window up, you'll be taken to the next stream for Sprint. Again, this is the YouTube. This is the Race YouTube channel, and this has been Grash. And it's been my pleasure to be with you. I will see you all next time. You'll hear from me. Will be the Austin Grand Prix in my time zone. I'll see you all, race fans. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the sprint and enjoy the race.